generally we say if you win, it covers over all problems.
Yep.
But I would dare say you've got a fair few still to work through. You want to start with the starts.
Yeah, I think our starts have been poor, especially in a state. In 4 of the 5 games this year, we tried something a little bit different this week. I don't think we'll probably do that again. We need to be a lot stronger at the start to give ourselves a better chance to win. To put ourselves 26 points down halfway through the second quarter gives the opposition a fair head start.
So the obvious question is, why is it happening?
If we could fix it easily, we'd do it. The reality is we're not as strong in the contest as we should be early, and the opposition winning more of the footy, getting more ball at their end, and they're kicking more goals.
Is that about too much of it seems to fall on Wines and Boat in that category at the very beginning?
I think it's on all of us. I don't think it's just it's not necessarily stoppage based. I think we looked flat and stagnant for long parts, of the game on the weekend. So, it was would have been a tough game as a spectator to watch. I assure you, as a coach, it was much tougher to watch.
Could you give us an insight on this? What did you try?
What did we try new start? Oh no, it's just you always start with a different routine, and I'm sure you've been through the same thing at some stage. Generally, it's between the years, and I think we've got to. It's as much about educating each player to get themselves into the right headspace so that they can start with the necessary energy to play at the highest level they can.
What have you noticed in the difference in years of how players prepare for games and get in that headspace? Is it different now than when you played and before that?
I think it depends how elevated you want to get yourself within your own emotion. I mean, you need some emotion to perform at your best, but too much tips you over the edge, and you become anxious, and then you can look worried and slow out there because you're overthinking the game. So it's trying to get the player into the right headspace, and each one's different. Some will overthink it and get too anxious and look like they're not trying when they're almost fatigued from overthinking it. Others are a little bit more relaxed and need the prod or the heavy metal music in the background.
I was going to say, what does it look like? Is it the way that you guys go and you do the warm-up drills? Is it different handballs? Is it music? What are those differences?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I don't think it matters what you do, what you do as a team before the game. It's how you prepare individually to get yourself ready, and as you get older as a player and gain more experience, you learn what gets you right. And that's why experienced players generally turn up each week and play a similar way. Our job as coaches is to help fast track those players so that they don't spend 6 or 7 years working it out for themselves, and they get there a whole lot quicker.
Flip side, Nathan, is against West Coast, in particular Brisbane, the complete collapse. This one's a fight back to a 1-point win. So what have you learned about yourselves to get out of the hole?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the opposition were now Collingwood defend really well and held onto the ball, but Brisbane and West Coast had those scoring threats where they kept looking like they were going to score against us. I don't think we did anything particularly better in this game to fight back, other than I think maybe the last quarter where I thought the guys showed some real courage to keep coming, to be a little bit more aggressive with how we played, how we defended, how we tried to move the ball, and then we got a little bit of reward on the scoreboard through it.
So that sounds like there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, there's absolutely. Our last month of footy hasn't been great. That's fair to say. I think we've been performing below the level of what a good finals team should perform at, and it's not unusual. We've been up for a little while as a team, and right now we're working through what great looks like, and we're a bit short of it right now.
What was said at 3/4 time? Was there a message? Was there a spray? Was there something that kind of flipped the switch a little bit?
Yeah, I think we were out of sprays by 3/4 time. It was more to, I think you're always moving between the, disappointment of the way you're playing to the trying to encourage the players to keep playing and to stay connected to the game. And, I thought we were really positive around our messaging at 3/4 time to be aggressive, to play with courage, to take the game on. And, we got some scoreboard impact and some improvement in the contest through that.
Do you need to start more aggressive then? Is that what you say to the players next week? Play that sort of style earlier?
Yeah. I think we say that each week. Each week we want to start the same way, which is playing strong Port Adelaide footy, and probably too often this season we haven't.
In terms of the speed, though, that seemed to be the biggest difference. In the last, you guys played on the line.
Yeah. You got to bring the energy and play with some urgency, and we couldn't get the ball off Collingwood early on. We didn't defend well, and then when we didn't get the ball back, by the time we got it, we were gassed, and then we played with no speed or urgency with the ball, and we tended to kick it straight back to them. So, the first quarter isn't something that you're going to watch again if you're anyone other than a coach. And even as a coach, I think Ken wasn't that enthused about watching it with us either.
How do you review Charlie's game? He had 1-2, but he had a pretty crucial smother out of a kick in, and then that assist to Ollie Wines at the end.
Yeah.
How do you review the impact he had on the result?
Yeah, I think our ball movement and ball use hasn't been great for a little while. I think our intercept score has been dropping away. I think he competed well. I thought he showed some better craft with his body and kept playing. I don't think it's a game that he's going to put in his own time capsule, but he played his role. He tried really hard, and when he had his moments, he made an impact on the game.
No injuries, but Houston and Connor probably look a little bit off where they're at. How are they going? Are they carrying too much at the moment? Where do they kind of sit?
Well, Connor's hasn't played that well for the last 2 weeks, and that's I thought Connor tried really hard yesterday. I thought he was trying to play the right way for the game, but the game didn't come to him. But if he keeps working that way, I think it will. Dan's been dealing with a shoulder injury, and was a little short of where we need him to be yesterday.
Is Connor spotting any danger?
I don't. I'm part of picking the team, but I'm probably not going to be picking it on a Monday.
He's got for someone who's so young, it seems strange to say, but it does seem like he's probably got a lot of runs on the ball that he can have lean weeks, and you guys maybe more accepting of it.
Connor's a good young man who's learning what it's like to play regular AFL football. So the honeymoon period of playing AFL football is over, and now it's working towards being a good and then a very good AFL player, and that's where we're working with Connor right now.
In terms of him trying hard yesterday, does that, maybe I've misinterpreted, does it take anything? Is he going away from playing instinctually to try and do team things a lot?
No, I actually think we missed some opportunities to use him yesterday. There's some stuff in the contest that he can improve on. We're trying to get the balance of game time right. We'd maybe like to give him a little bit more midfield time than what he seems to be able to get during the game. So we're still working through what is best for Connor, but Connor needs to play the best footy he can wherever he's playing.
Is that Farrell's best game for the club?
Yeah, it was. I was really impressed with a couple of guys that came into the side. Kane's played the last couple of weeks, but it was probably the 22nd player picked, and it's unusual that the 22nd player picked is maybe your best player on the day. I thought Trent McKenzie was excellent coming back into the side. I thought he did a great job on Ngoe and was really important in some big contests. I thought Sam Powell-Pepper probably had his best game this year, looking a little bit more match conditioned. I thought he used the ball quite well, and he had some really important contests for us, particularly late.
Got Freo coming up. Nat Fyfe, I think, had 13 clearances on the weekend. How do you go about stopping that and I guess lifting the clearance efforts with Freo looming?
He's going to protect his space and use his body well. He's got great hands. We've got some good players inside that, and I don't think it's as much clearance that is our challenge at the moment. Generally it's around the 50-50 mark. No matter what's happening, it's more around what we're doing off that, whether it be in front of the ball or whether it goes the other way, and how we can get some more rebound when we lose clearance at the moment. So I'm looking a little bit more outside the stoppage. I think Fyfe's an outstanding player who wins aerial contests around the ground as well. He's very good. But if we play our best footy, and we're a bit short of that at the moment, and that's what we're working towards, that's what we're focused on.
Do you look at running with him at all?
Too early. Haven't looked at Freo really at all yet.
Would there be a case for fully specialised ruckman?
Well, not really. I think, Pete, that's probably the second or toughest job in the comp. Depends how you want to look at it, but it doesn't get much harder than Grundy in the AFL. So, Pete struggled early, but I thought he fought back really well and did some important things for us in the last quarter. I thought his marking was the best it's been for quite a while around the ground. I don't think we'd need to leave out a tall forward really to bring in Hazy and whilst the guys weren't terrific on the weekend, I thought they competed. I thought Todd limited Moore's intercept marking for the game. George maybe didn't have his arms and legs always connected to his brain yesterday, but he kept trying and won some important balls late. So George is pretty exciting moving forward. So I don't see us making any change at this stage there.